Gemini King, Mike in the night, and the Gemini crew. Ooh.
Let's just talk about the world. Give this page another turn, 'cause you're here with us tonight. Everything's alright when you're here with Mike in the night. Mike it through the night, you're here with Mike in the night. Giving the world light when you're here with Mike in the night. Mike it through the night, you're here with Mike in the night. Sometimes things are just absurd, so let's just talk about the world, 'cause you're here with us tonight. Mike it through the night, you're here with Mike in the night. Mike it through the night, you're here with Mike in the night. Let's just talk about the world. Give this page another curl, 'cause you're here with us tonight.
Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. Welcome to Mike in the Night. You are here for a reason. You are here to talk, to listen and burn some nighttime or midnight hour, or wherever you may be, whether it's day, evening, or night or morning. Broadcasting from Merritt, British Columbia, down to Seattle, down to California, across to Miami, up to New York, across the pond to London, and then across over southeast to Australia and New Zealand. And welcome everybody. So tonight's is a very special edition of Mike in the Night, because tonight I'm going to actually state that I think I was really wrong about, I was right, but I was wrong. What am I talking about? This Saudi attack today. And the problem is, I keep going on the fundamentals of what we were taught when we were children, or what we were taught from the book. We were taught from the basic fundamentals of business and how, leveraging, deleveraging, values, markets. I messed up because I knew in my heart of hearts that this global government that we have, this whole regime, or whatever you want to call it, I don't even care what it's called, was not going to let oil stay at where it's at. Oil needs to be profitable. And I feel like I've terribly missed out. I dumped all my oil stock and I jumped into silver and gold. And in our business sense, in our business understanding of how things work, silver and gold is severely undervalued and manipulated. I know that. But I was playing their game for a while. I was heavily invested in oil because I knew that they can't go much longer with running and selling oil at a loss. I knew it. And I pulled out of oil thinking metals was the best step, the next best thing. Just totally wrong. Just absolute failure when it comes to... I knew it was going to happen. I've been predicting it. You guys know, with Morning Coffee with Mike, for years, I've been saying oil is undervalued and they're going to do something to make it go up in value. No matter what. They're not going to let it sell at a loss. They don't care. And I felt that, maybe they're going to let the market correct itself. Maybe gold should go to $2,000-$3,000 an ounce. Maybe things should be, maybe things might transition to the right way. I was damn wrong. I was friggin' wrong. And that's what's really upsetting me today. Now, oil might gravitate to the moon tomorrow, and I was in it. I could have been in a really good position right now. A really good position. I just had to play the game they were playing. Okay? Is oil undervalued? Probably. Is gold undervalued? Hell yeah, it's undervalued. It is severely undervalued. And I'm not going to argue that tonight. I know it is. It's just I stuck to this for long. I'm very disappointed. I'm just disappointed in myself that I didn't stick to my own plan, which I usually do. And I just feel like I'm just very disappointed in myself for this. I'm very disappointed. Because I knew it's a game. Okay? You play the game, you win. You play the game their way, you win. You play the game the way you were taught in school. You play the game the way you were taught the right way of doing things and how things are leveraged, deleveraged, how money markets they dip into money markets, they're going into pensions, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing everything against the book. And I just feel like an absolute friggin' loser. I just feel like a loser. Let's get someone in here on the show. I'm just very disappointed. Guys, don't forget to check the channel out. Don't forget to check the channel out, guys. Subscribe. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you want to support this transmission. Don't forget to, I'm on Instagram, guys. If you want to follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do that, guys. If you want to follow me on Instagram. I've been on Instagram for a while, but I never, there I am on Instagram. I do more family stuff on here. So if you guys want to join the family, go ahead. So, I wanted to talk about silver stacking tonight. So I brought some silver on the show to show you guys 1 in 5. I think it's a 1 ounce. What the hell is this thing? Let me see what this is. OPM metals. This is 1 troy ounce. All right. So I got some silver to show you guys. Just some ideas. Oh, I feel like such a loser. You have no idea. Like, someone's telling me that don't be hard on yourself, Mike. Oil isn't going to shoot up overnight. It might see $60. Still, that would have been a huge gain. I just knew, but gold's going to go down. Every time gold and silver rally, every time. Oil rallies, gold and silver drops. We're going to see like a $1,200 friggin' silver, $1,200 gold. I'm just so disappointed. I am so disappointed I didn't stick to my guns. I always stick to my guns. And I just feel like such a loser. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not asking anyone to feel sorry for me. It's just a bad friggin' deal. Oil could raise $10 per barrel on drone attack. It doesn't matter what this says, but when Monday morning, if you're in the oil already and you were in there, you're doing well. Gold and silver, like I said, you gotta play their book. Their book. What's silver worth? I don't know, maybe $300 an ounce. Are they going to make it $300 an ounce? Never. They're going to keep it under $20 as long as I have air in my lungs. Maybe when my kid's my age, you might see silver at $40. Maybe. Because this is the bullcrap we live in. This is the garbage. That's why you learn one way how to do things, and you learn all the business books and what they tell you what's happening and what is, because that's the right way to do it. You got to learn their game. That's how you make it in this. The money's in markets. There's no money in working for the man. Somebody's saying in the Church Dresser is saying, you know it was fake because oil stocks rose before it happened. Jody Pendejo saying, Pengio saying, you can't nail the market every time, Mike. I screwed the pooch plenty of times myself. Robert Andres saying, relax, Mikes. Fake manipulation. Doesn't matter. Look, I can have all the silver in the world. It doesn't matter. Because you know what? If we were in a market where it was on autopilot, silver would be at 180, 90 bucks an ounce. Gold would be at maybe 21, 2200 bucks an ounce, comfortably. No questions asked, no debates. And I knew they were going to push for war. Or they're going to push something to get oil back up to 100 bucks a barrel. I knew it. They're going to lose $5.7 million production per day. Oh, man. Oh, guys, I'm just in a downer today, guys. Don't mind me. I mean, I had a great day, and then I started to see that, and then someone sent me that. Oil is changing hands. This is going to be a longer phase. Yeah, exactly. It's like in Iran shooting down the drone. We get an event, people jump on it for a week, and then it drops. Someone's asking me if I think fiat won't go to zero. They won't. They'll just combine and create an Amero dollar, and then they'll combine and create a world currency. They'll just keep going and going and going, and they're going to keep silver and gold worthless. You know, we know how things work. We understand the dynamics of business. We understand the dynamics of rare metals. We understand, invisible cryptos and stuff. And then we understand precious metals. And this thing's really heavy. Anyways, let me see. Let me get Lord Lord Humungus yeah, you're on your phone, so I think
Yo, Mikey, cheer up, man.
Yo, okay, buddy. Tell me what's going on. What do you think is gonna happen, man? I pulled out of oil. I just knew they weren't going to let this go on for much longer. They're going to have to raise the price on oil. I understand if we follow the markets and we're following it like it's on autopilot, I feel that they're always pulling a fast one on us regardless of where things should be.
They are always pulling a fast one on the masses everywhere. It doesn't matter. You know, I mean, it's hard to explain, Mikey. It's like that's the way they rigged the game a long time ago. You got to figure out the game and beat them at it mentally. You know, I don't know why you would be upset about gold and silver. They can't suppress it down to zero. That's impossible. That'll never happen. Not
No,
in-
I'm saying right now, if old oil starts rallying, you're going to see a huge drop in silver and gold.
yeah, on the paper market, sure, because it's connected to paper, right?
Right.
That physical stuff you have in your hand is what all those central banks want. They don't want you to control one single ounce of that. With with that little bit of ounces in your possession right there that you just showed us, you are richer than 99% of the world. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, I know, I know where you're getting at. Here it is, right here. These are
Yep.
This thing weighs a ton. These are 10 troy ounces of 99.999% silver, made in the
Yep.
USA.
That's right. That's what they don't want us dumb sheep out here to have, the herd. You know what I'm saying? Oil is over glutton. There's so much oil. They just don't tap into it, and they use that as a means of control. That's how they control, because everybody's got cars, and so far cars for the most part burn oil. I mean, it's one big who controls the game, basically. That's geopolitically. You got to look at it that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's why today's episode is Rumpelstiltskin. What are they spinning on us?
Yeah. Well, why are you so upset? I mean, did you have a lot in there? Did you have a lot in oil, or?
Quite a bit, actually.
And what did you do? Did you pull? You just pulled it out?
I pulled it out because I thought that the energy sector was going to collapse.
It still might very well. I mean, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. uh, the best advice I could give you is, you should maybe trade against the market, like and learn options trading, and then that way you're not risking your own capital. You know what I'm saying?
No, this is just trade money I have to trade, right?
I understand that, but if you were
No,
to buy,
the thing is, I was already in oil already, so I was getting my dividends and everything, and it was really nice. And
okay,
ever since
I
I
got
pulled out, I got a few spurts in silver. Okay,
right,
and then
right,
boom, oil's just been trending upwards since then.
right. Did you see a chart? Did you see it on the? Some of the markets are already open. Not the American markets, but did you see? Did you see any of the world markets where they're trading at? Because
Well,
they're used.
it's still Sunday in Australia, so
That's
we have to wait.
I forgot. It's been a long day.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's still Sunday in Australia, so it's Saturday night here with Mike in the Night
right,
with Lord
right.
Humungus here, and Lord is trying to talk me into making me feel better that I didn't make that I didn't make a big mistake going into metals.
You didn't make a big mistake, because that's where you should really keep your wealth. It's the best preserver of wealth, if that makes sense. Don't worry. If you got to look at these markets like they're manipulated and fake, and the money that you
Well,
use inside of the
but
markets.
Lord, in all fairness, that's what I saw, and that's why I was so heavily in oil, because I know they were going to pull something like this.
Right.
And then
Well,
nothing happened for a long time, so I said, okay, I don't think we're going to war with Saudi Arabia, so I'm going to pull out, and then maybe go into the metals market, because I see metals becoming, because of the trade wars with China and USA, right?
Yeah. But
So,
where did Iran get all these drones at? That's what I'd like to know.
this one here is the Sunshine Minting Eagle,
Yeah, those are good.
5
Those are good.
ounces.
Do they have the valid certification on the back?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, those are nice. I like those
I can't
sunshine.
barely read it though. It is in the back here.
Yeah, yeah. They have them. They're really easy to see on the 10-ounce bars with the magnifier. But
Yeah.
man, bro, you're getting upset over. It's like Bitcoin, right, or cryptocurrency, right? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything until you either one sell it and convert it back into something tangible, which even fiat is to a degree tangible, even though it's just paper.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I
mean,
understand.
you can't get upset over these stupid events that happen, because they're planned, and they're going to happen regardless. And one side's going to paint an evil face on the other side just for who's going to control it and who can go in there and drop 40 tons of munitions on some city in the Middle East. you know. And that's just a sad story, you know. It's sad that it's what keeps this whole stupid money circulation going around the planet. That we as humans have to resort to wars and killing each other and supporting, you know, military industrial complexes to kill people we don't even know in far off lands, you know. And it's stupid. I agree. You know, I think all, like I said before, I think all countries, we should break up this whole global BS, fiat, financial credit, you know, Bitcoin system. Everybody should go back to a gold and silver standard in their country, like China and Russia and all these other countries want to do. And they should all have their independent currencies. And if they want to trade amongst countries, you know, like Thomas Jefferson said, you know, he wanted to have free and open trade with all countries, you know, and but you can't make, you know, allies of them, basically. You know, he wanted to keep every country separate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So don't get upset, bro. It is what it is, man. And manipulation, you can't believe everything you see. The data's corrupted. You know, everything's corrupted. You know, we get lied to even though when we think we're getting told the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality of the situation. And you see it in the entire business cycle, this global business cycle of the money makers and the kings and their money and whatever. It's all bullshit, man. That's the way you got to look at it. And you have to play it, and that's the best way to fight this system. I believe that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. But I was playing it. I had my money in the right place at the right time, and I just feel bad that I screwed up.
How'd you screw up? Why don't you could easily, if this is going to make those oil markets pop or whatever, there's going to be another market sector that's going to drop, so you can use that to your advantage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because you lose out on oil doesn't mean that housing is not about to collapse, or that, you know, Standard and Poor's isn't about to collapse, or that Apple might not collapse on Monday. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, you know, that's how you got to trade the markets, bro. You got to, you know, if you get one bad down thing because you thought you missed something, there's always another opportunity, even on bad economic news or tweets or whatever, you know? So you can't get upset over these things. It's just not worth the time or the effort.
I understand.
I saw you all sad looking in, you know, and I was like, man, what's wrong with Mikey, man? You know?
I don't know. I just feel, you know what I mean, right? I feel like, damn, I could have, you know.
Dude, you know what that is?
Mm.
It's an emotional hurt, okay? And it goes away very quickly, especially when it comes to the BS of this world, man. Mm-hmm. It does. You know, I mean, you start. It's hard to explain, but you know, like I've been up and I've been down, man, to like rock bottom, and I've always somehow climbed my way back up with God's grace. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even all the crap that's thrown against us, this whole system is thrown against us humans.
It is everything. I'm talking from the car insurance you pay, from your cell phone provider, to the dishwasher you use. It's all working against us.
Of course, and it's designed that way. That's what you got to understand. And it all goes back to who controls the money, because everybody's got to have the money, because the money is what makes the world go round. But it's really not in reality, you know. There's a real world and there's an artificial world, and they want to trap us all in the artificial. Mm-hmm. That doesn't cost them anything.
Yeah, I hear you. This is a recipe for $100 oil barrel. Oh my God.
Call up the Raven, man. See where is that cat? Is he still in his cabin or what?
Yeah, he's in the chat. I'm gonna give him a call right now and see what he has to say about this.
Yeah, don't worry about it, bro. It's like, you know, whatever. You got to spot the opportunities when the other ones you think pass you by. Mm-hmm. That's what should keep you motivated and keep you going.
Right.
Right on.
Right. All right. Thanks, brother.
Hey, man. Huh?
Yeah.
What was that?
Would you say, hey, man? Yeah.
I said, give me an amen.
Amen, brother.
All right. Call the Raven up. See what he's doing.
Brother. Bye. That's Lord Humungus, keeping it calm here in Mike in the Night. ABC is saying that's it's oil's last ditch effort. Could it be? Could I be dead wrong? Could I be right being in the metals market right now? Because when I play, I don't really diverse too much because I always play I always play at risk. I always play the high risk, right? When weed was up, I bought weed when I heard there was marijuana stocks, and I'm like, what? And they're legal? They're like, yep, they're on the TSX. I went nuts with that, right? Then I got out of it. Then I went into oil when it was down. Got out of it. Then I went to metals. Now I'm thinking I went too early into metals. I think, yeah. Oil's last ditch effort. Could this just be the last blip on the life support? Man, I'm dead wrong. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Mike Martin's here with the Mike Martin's channel. Guys, don't forget to share some of my videos and some of my content. What else? Lots of stuff going on here on the channel, guys. Don't forget to check it out. Don't forget to pledge, support, and contribute to this channel. Don't forget to come on to Patreon, guys, and pledge $1 a month towards my coffee habit. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, people. So 26 Genter saying the Saudis have known for a while that oil is the what the oil is in the long term is going to go down. They have been looking for other investment opportunities. That's very true. That's very true. Metals may crash, and that's what I'm thinking here. Could metals go down? Could we see $1,100 gold in the next 2 weeks? Mind reading AI could be the end of humanity. Forever 21, bankruptcy expected by Sunday. %83 say mental health to blame, Gallup poll finds. Wall Street ignores a cynical jobs growth downturn as employment indicator hits Great Recession levels. Like, this is all garbage. We know this is true. But the guys on Wall Street just all right. Who the hell could we get on here now? Let's see if we could get the Raven on. And I think Supreme Cannon's... Where's Supreme Cannon? I hope he didn't get arrested. Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin. What are they spinning on us, guys? What crap are they spinning on us? All right, let's go to the Raven here. Let's see if he's available.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I feel broken, man. I knew this was gonna... Huh?
Don't even worry about it. That I don't think there's gonna be much price movement in oil. There's a glut of oil in the world right now, man. It's sloshing around all over the place. By the time that thins out, those Saudis, you don't think they're at that right now, putting in new pipes and putting in new... That'll be up and running. It won't take too long. How long did it take them to clear up the World Trade Center? What did it take to clear up those two big buildings at the bottom of the pot?
They had to get that evidence out of there real quick in a heartbeat.
Hey, when you're motivated, things happen, eh?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I've been predicting this for the longest time, and I just don't. I feel that there's no way they could let this happen, or the price of oil stay like this for so long.
You know what? The markets, everything, it's like a person, right? You walk up to that person, you slap him in the face. Well, you're going to get a reaction, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to be upset. You know, you walk up to that person, tell them a joke. Well, they're probably going to laugh, right? Right now, the markets. They're laughing. They're thinking, oh, greedy. They're going to go into their stocks, eh? Mm-hmm. This all has to do with monetary policy. Draghi shot his bazooka the other day, you know, lower interest rates down to 0.5% negative ECB. They're going to print $20 billion starting November 1st. They're going to be buying treasuries. They're doing everything they can. Okay. And now in the U.S., we know next week in Lord's country they're going to cut rates at least 0.25%. They would have to cut 75 basis points just to uninvert the curve. They would have to go lower than the 10-year because that's what they mark all auto loans and consumer spending is off that 10-year fixed rate. So it's at what, 1.6, 1.7?
Yeah.
Whereas the Fed rate is at 2.13. It's
Right.
more than the 10-year. So they'd have to go below the 10-year to uninvert that curve. This is all loose monetary policy. What does that do? Loose monetary policy takes everybody back to the casino, back to the stock markets. Silver and gold is no longer a fear trade. That gets sold off. They take their profits. That sits down. And the last three recessions that we had, we rallied going into the recessions. Because why did we rally? Because they loosened monetary policy before the crash. And everybody went back to the casino. But that little rise in gold and silver we had a few weeks ago, that was a little teaser. That was a warning to all of you who don't have your medals to get your medals, because there probably is not going to be another little warning. The next one will be the full ride, and that will be after this market rally. The last three rallies, the markets rallied anywhere from 20 to 34% on the last three rallies because they're jacking the heroin into your arm. So of course you're going to stand up and start jumping around. That's what the markets are doing.
Stevie Stevens in the comments is saying if metals get knocked down, that is a perfect time to buy more and wait for it to shoot back up. And then 26 Gunter saying buy the dip.
You know what? They're exactly right. They're both right. That was a little warning because when you started to watch that silver going up, we were getting close to $20 there. I think we hit 1975 was the high of that one day. You know, at $20 with the premium converted to Canadian, well, you're paying $30 an ounce of silver. You know, when it was I bought the majority of mine at $19 Canadian.
Me too. I bought mine at $18-19.
Yeah, that's great. You buy stuff when it's mostly
like these little ones like this. These little ones. I bought these for trade. I have like a lot of these for trade purposes. Like if I want to trade for a lighter or something. Like if we're ever in a really, really bad, huge, precarious situation.
Yeah.
And
I started buying in 212. That's when I really woke up, January 212. Funny enough, it was 2 weeks after I canceled my cable. I woke up to what was actually going on and got really into it. I've been holding a lot of silver for a long time. I went through 216 where silver went up and up and up. It hit $20 in 216 American. And I thought, oh, right, when Trump was getting elected, right? Silver, because of fear, we can't have this guy. Silver went up. Brexit was happening. And I had to watch that price come all the way back down and go sideways for years. What, another 3 years? I watched it go sideways. I've been sitting on that hoard for years, and I'll sit on it forever, because it's the only thing of value that I own. Everything else, I don't put as much value in my rental properties or my vacation property or my job or anything. I hold the value of what I own in ounces. I don't count my value in dollars. It's in ounces, and it's there, and it's never going to erode. And I don't care how many of these little ups and downs we have in the market. There's a time coming in the near future, and I think we can all probably figure it's in the next year or two. That's what there'll be the haves and the have-nots. You know what I bought today at a flea market? I bought a set of sterling silver cutlery.
Oh, wow.
Really old. But it's sterling silver, so the weight is there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I buy like the silverware, I'll buy coins, junk silver, and there's one thing people should know about that silver they're buying. You want to buy recognizable silver, like minted government coins, eh? A lot of that unrecognizable silver is not worth as much. The people won't pay you the top dollar for the unrecognizable, eh?
Right. We got Buddy in the comments. Robert Andrews is saying, Mike, where do you buy bars? What's that website you go to? What website could you recommend for us, Raven, that you know of?
I wouldn't go to a website. I don't like I don't like there to be a digital footprint on anything that I own. I
Okay,
like,
but if somebody wants to buy silver, where would they? What's a good
if
one?
you want to buy silver, my best, like the number one way I would go at it is in Winnipeg here. We have 3 or 4 stores called We Buy Gold.
Yeah.
It's a little, you probably have them out there, and this person working in there, and usually they have a display case where someone's come in and sold silver, and they'll sell it back to you with no identification required. To buy that silver from them in that store, there's no identification required. At a store that sells an accredited mint dealer, like here in Winnipeg would be Gate West Coins, they will ask for your driver's license and they will document you buying that silver. But at We Buy Gold, they don't ask for your identification. But when you sell to them, they mark down your identification. But in buying it, and to get around capital gains on that silver, if you're to gift your silver to somebody, then you can get around capital gains. There's no capital gains on a gift in that metals.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But like people buy online. What is it? SD Bullion. That's a really good place to buy silver online. Is SD Bullion.
I know
They're
Ottawa Bullion Wholesale is the one I've used before.
yeah.
And they're a big one here. They sell them by monster boxes you could pick up. So you could pick up the more you buy. So here's the 2019 1 ounce Canadian silver maple leaf monster box. So if you buy 500 ounces of it, they'll give you a deal at 26.28 Canadian. That's 19.93 US. So that would be, what is that? $11,000. Let me see what that is. Sorry, 12,860. Sorry, I was close. 12,860. And that's 500 ounces of 1 ounce Canadian silver maple leaf monster box.
Yeah, I got 11 of those.
Yeah. There
But
it is, there, guys.
Remember, you buy that 500 ounce monster box, you're paying $1,500 in premiums. There's a $3 attachment to each coin. Sunshine Mint stamps those coins. They send them to the mint, which is right by my house there, and then they'll double stamp, the queen on one side, the maple leaf on the other side. They'll put them in tubes. They'll put them in a box. They'll ship them to a dealer. He'll sell them to you. There's a $3 premium when you buy them because none of those people are in business to sell you silver at the going rate of what silver. They have to have a premium so that they can make money stamping.
Of course. Well, it's better than what the Chinese are doing on the mainland. They're paying 20-30% over spot.
See, no, but just to let everyone know in the room, most people probably do know there's a $3 premium on that silver for each ounce. The 100 ounce bars, it drops down to $1.50 per ounce premium. But then you're holding a 100 ounce bar, and if it ever goes to 1,000, 1,000 an ounce, you got a $100,000 bar. How are you going to sell it, eh? And so what everyone goes into the paper markets, there's no $3 premium. There's no weight to carry home. There's no chance of theft. They go into the paper markets and buy contracts. They're not paying that premium. See, as silver stackers, we got to sit at home and I buy at $19 Canadian. I need it to go up $3 and then I break even and then it's above there. We were there just the other day. Like I was up great, but then it's coming back down. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. I'm okay. I'm not buying anymore. I'm done buying. Mm-hmm. But dips up and down doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Don't trade with emotion and don't care about your oil. Learn from your mistakes. That's the best thing you can do. I lost lots of money, tons of money. Lost it all. Lost lots. Learned a lot.
I hear you, brother. In God we trust. That's what it says here. The United States fine silver $1, 1 ounce of Troy silver. The Liberty coin is beautiful.
Yeah, ours is a higher grade. Theirs is 3 9s. Ours is 4 9s silver.
Really?
So if you're wondering the difference between 3 9s and 4 9s, if you take a 1 ounce silver coin and let's say the price of silver is $30, At the going rate of $30 for an ounce of silver, the difference from 3 nines to 4 nines is 2 cents. That's the way that I read it in the book.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very small, minuscule, it doesn't matter, but it's still, it is a higher grade, but very minimal amount of money, that fourth nine.
There's the gold one here. There's the gold one here. So let's look at gold right now. So you got the 1 ounce gold bars you could buy, but you got to buy 10 to 19. So you got to buy about 20. Oh, wow. Like quite a bit actually to get. Then there's the 1 ounce Canadian gold maple leaf. And it's got a random year on it.
You're talking about getting the reduction by buying in quantity. Yeah, that's hard to do when you're buying gold.
Yeah, gold is tough. So let's look at 10 ounce. Let's add this to a cart. And that's going to put us at $20,000 Canadian. 20,279. That's like 24,000 Australian dollars right now. And then against the Brazilian real, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So update totals to 20. So if you buy 21 ounce gold coins, it's 40,531
Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian. 31,000 roughly US.
And it dropped quite a bit there. Dropped $50, so US.
It did.
You know, so you were looking at close to. You're getting up closer to $3,000 than $2,000.
Yeah, big time.
You were up around 2,600 or something.
Could we trust these guys? I mean, they look legit. The 1 ounce gold bar Royal Canadian Mint.
It's SD Bullion.
It's Ottawa Bullion Wholesale.
I don't know them. I know that SD Bullion's got a really good track record. They're really clued into what's going on in the world. They're really good, highly talked about on the internet. A lot of people swear by them.
Okay,
but you know what?
Here they are.
I don't leave paper trails, man. You want to do everything on the down low. That's the way I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want anyone to know you have silver. You know, look at them talk. Like there's a story on Zero Hedge. They want to ban cryptos, eh? That's coming. China's now saying they want to run their own cryptocurrency.
Of course they do.
What's going to come out? You know it. They're playing this game. They just throw little word. They're not ready for it yet. If you want to know when the crash is coming, know when cryptocurrencies are ready to go online. When they're ready with the cryptocurrencies and that whole system, then you'll know the old system will come down. Not before, not after. All they're going to do right now is they're going to build up their case for why the system's going to come down, why they're going to go over. Oh, you're buying fentanyl with cryptocurrencies. Oh, you're money laundering with crypto. Oh, yeah. Who cares? They're doing more of it with cash. It's their little pathetic storyline that they're going to run, but it's going to be a central bank cryptocurrency. It's going to be wired through the RFID chip in your hand. We're going to be all controlled with social credit through 5G. My train will be running on automation, and I'll be sitting at home watching the Kardashians.
Who are the Kardashians?
No, I've never watched it. I knew you were going to ask me.
No, but who are they? What is that? Is that like a royal family of some sorts, or what are they?
I know they're like a reality family. Like that was who's that guy there? What's his name? Bruce Jenner.
Okay, that guy. I saw him in Playboy, like talking about. I saw him in the early '80s Playboy magazines. Like, anyways, look.
He won Woman of the Year.
Did he?
That just proves that men are best at everything.
That's true. I think Jay Leno said that, by the way. Look at this, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the one. This is the one I'm putting up on the camera here. Is the one that is right here in my hand. You can see it matches. It's the exact same 5 ounce bar. Wow, that's like 100 US. Wow.
Did you read on Zero Hedge that gold toilet got stolen the other day?
But whose toilet was it? Jack Nicholson's?
Google it. It's over $1 million. Just Google gold toilet stolen. It's a pretty good story.
Interesting. I'm just looking at gold and silver right now because they look really nice.
It's
Let
an
me see
8-carat solid gold toilet.
Here we go. Platinum coins.
Well, they did well.
Let's see how much the American Mint Platinum is. Wow, 1,000 US dollars. So it's gone down platinum. It's gone below gold. Gold, eh?
What's palladium?
I don't know if they sell it here. Hold on.
Oh yeah, they'll
Platinum.
sell it.
No, they don't.
Mm.
Silver, gold, platinum, and then that's it. Oh, they do have palladium. I'm sorry, palladium. So 1 gram of palladium is 1 gram of palladium is $56.72.
So you're looking at the same price as gold.
Yeah, and then 1 ounce palladium bar is 1,611.
Wow, more than gold.
Mhm.
Oh no, is that American? That's American, eh?
Yeah, American.
Yeah, more than gold.
And then what is this? Early releases 1 ounce American palladium eagle coin. Wow, $2,600. Yeah, palladium. Sorry, I didn't see it here. They got more stuff. Let's go to other. They got copper.
Yeah, copper. Yeah, people like to invest in copper. It's the roof of the economy.
Yes, I can. The Liberty copper coin looks beautiful. So you get 1 ounce copper coin for $1. I wonder how much come in a roll. I might buy like a 25. Is it 25 ounces in one roll of copper coins?
I wouldn't waste my time.
No, I like them because I like the design to collect them. I'm saying I don't. I'm not buying them to go up in value. I just think they look amazing.
Yeah. Take everything you're going to spend on that roll of copper and buy an ounce of silver.
Yeah, I guess you're right. How much are they selling copper? Someone's asking. Oh, it's 1 ounce of copper is selling for $1.19 US.
Or you could just go through all the abandoned houses in the States and cut the copper out of the.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this Lincoln one is beautiful.
Mike, for your upcoming show on Wednesday, I talked to Miss X. She would like to be an ongoing guest.
Oh, God bless America.
Yeah, Wednesday you'll have a 30-year real estate agent coming on to talk about the housing market. And not just a real estate agent, like one that's like the amount of experience spans from $45 million builds to tons, big, huge buildings, condominium complexes, first phase, second phase, all through the whole city, all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I got an article open here. It's called How to Store Silver Bullion Bars and Coins at Home. And so how do we store our silver bullion but effectively and safely? And should it be stored at home anyway? So here it is. The value of keeping silver on hand, the important storage factors to consider, and tips for where to hide your silver. Using bank safe deposit boxes or the pros and cons of third-party professional storage. I know you like to keep silver close by, but it says here that everyone should keep some silver and gold in a place that is easily and immediately accessible. Do you believe in that?
I keep a little bit around, mostly because I move it to a secure location over time. But the majority of my silver, there's only 2 people on the planet that know where it is, me and someone else. And if me and that person both died at the same time, it would never be found. That's just in 1,000 years, somebody might find it, but it would never be found. I keep a little stashes here and there, just like those knives I bought today. You know, they're just sitting on the counter. I bought some junk silver the other day. It's sitting there. I kind of till I get a pile up, and then I'll figure out a safe location once it becomes that certain amount that you don't want to leave lying around. But for people, you know what? hide it. There's so many good hiding places in your house behind a vent. Even a good one is in PVC tubing, the black plumbing. That black 2.5 inch underneath your sink.
Yeah.
Like a long tube of that in a basement that looks like it's part of your, but stacked with 1 ounces, will fit in there no problem. And just I don't want to tell you too many. I have really good hiding places, but I can't say because then everyone will know where I hide my
Well,
silver.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying, like, keeping it close by. Okay, storing silver bullion at home. Note, there doesn't necessarily mean you should keep it inside your house. It means you want some of it readily accessible in an emergency, whether that emergency is a personal one or on a national scale. If you do decide to store some silver at home, there are some important things to think about first. Considering the most important factor before you begin will keep your bullion secure. So I'm just reading this article here, and
Yeah, you know what? Keep it in not all in one place. They say to split it up. In case one gets found, you still got the other 2 or 3 places, eh?
mm-hmm.
It depends how much you have. I think people have a pretty good idea. Just don't be stupid about hiding your silver. And remember where you put it.
Yeah. You know that half of the fortunes that were lost were because they forgot where they put them?
Well, look at that couple that dug up that can of gold coins in California. They're out walking on their property. You know what that's from, eh?
Yeah, because of the confiscation of gold and a bunch of people buried it in their backyard.
Yeah, in 33. Confiscation. Though that time's probably going to come back one day. When they're going to try and force us into their digital prison, they're going to want my silver. They're going to want your Bitcoin. They're going to want that all banned. And come on into the negative world of digital imprisonment. That's what we're looking at.
Well, here's something a little bit positive that was put up here. Global debt exceeds 200 trillion and increasing rapidly. It would be repaid at current value, and in an unlikely chance it's repaid, those future dollars and euros, yen, or whatever will have to deeply be devalued. Debt created to fund current consumption instead of productive investment is dangerous, and that's why everyone's fleeing to silver and gold right now.
I don't believe their numbers. 200 trillion in world debt. Yeah, you hear everything up to 270.
Mm-hmm.
What did that professor from the Boston University of Economics said? His team ripped apart the U.S. debt, just the USA. Mm-hmm. $222 trillion there in debt if you count unfunded obligations.
Yeah, liabilities and stuff, right?
Liabilities. That's just the U.S. Mm-hmm. These guys are all fudging the numbers, man. Oh, we're going to start quantitative easing again. Like you ever stopped. You don't just jump off a building that's on fire and stop at the 50th floor for a little break. When you take the printing money route, you run your economy as hard as you can. There's no looking back. You crash it in the end, but you get your infrastructure in place. Run it as hard. Does anybody notice? Does anybody notice any politician coming out saying, you know what? We're thinking about cutting some spending here to try and lower the deficit. They don't care. They're running it. They got the pedal to the floor, man. Mm-hmm. What's coming? They got their little I don't have cryptocurrencies. I like the idea of it. I watch it very closely, though, because
it's a fantastic idea. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, you understand it. If that's your opinion of cryptos, then you obviously understand it because it is a fantastic idea. It is. It's a truth ledger. But watch the crypto space because I believe that's the thermometer of how this is all going to play out. Okay, follow the money.
So I got a silver long scale here that was actually printed in 2015, April 5th. And man, they're bang on the money right now. The scale goes up to January 2020. And where we're sitting right now with silver is exactly what this graph is depicting. Right here. We're sitting right here. According to this graph, we're right here. And that's around the $18, $19, $17, $18 mark. Wow. And this is the silver long scale prediction in 2015 to January 2020. Wow.
How much is it off?
Well, it's
Like,
predicting the long scale at 20. What is that? It's $28 $29 by January. Well, in the first quarter of 2020, you're looking to look at $27 silver.
there's a chance that, like, back in 2011, silver hit $50. There's a chance they will try and contain these silver prices, and we won't get the breakout, and the rollover into digital currency will come before, and they'll do that so that all the gold and silver bugs in the world and everybody thinking of honest sound money will be so beaten down that they'll just say, yeah, whatever, let's just do digital. I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah.
They may hold our stuff down. They might not be able to. We'll see. I really fear that they're going to make stuff illegal.
Well, this is the silver long scale, and it's right on the money, dude. Like, it's really right on the money. It's like right here. Here we are. This was made in 2015. It's on the show. It's on our show here live in 2019. We're entering we're in October, November. We're going to be in the fourth quarter of 2019, and this is exactly what they've predicted.
What was the price in November 2016 on silver?
2016 November.
Yeah.
It would be around, I guess, 1950.
Is that what that's saying?
Kinda. I'm just trying to read it across the.
That's right. It was at $20.
Yeah, it's at 1950 according to this.
Really? They got it that accurate?
Dude, I'm not playing with you. This article's from 2015, and I actually saw the timestamp on the article on Google.
They must be taking into factor presidential races, all kinds of stuff, and plotting it on their chart and wondering where silver will rise and fall. It's directly related to the human emotion, silver. Oh.
If you could get on a screen, you could see you could see it. It's on my full screen here. You could see it perfectly where it's headed. This looks really good.
Where's it headed?
This is making me feel good right now because some of this here, I want a bit of a retirement too. You know what I'm saying, Raven?
Yeah.
These 10-ounce bars these things are heavy as F. It's like you look at it and you think it's not, it's not this heavy, but you pick it up, it's like, holy crap.
I like the 10-ounce Canadian mint bars.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of the Chinese bars too, like the Year of the Dragon. I have a Year of the Dragon kilo coin. It's a beautiful coin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A kilo coin.
But to me, you know what? To me, it doesn't matter. Silver.
Wait, say that again. A kilo coin?
Yeah, it's a kilo. It's a kilo in weight.
I'm looking that up right now.
Year of the Dragon, silver kilo coin.
Let me go to images. Here it is. Year of the Dragon, 1 kilo silver. Holy, this thing's enormous. I'm seeing it in someone's hands.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's like a steering wheel.
No, not. But
well, no, I mean, like it's a
go-kart
steering wheel.
It's bigger than a hockey puck, not as fat, just about it, like a little half the thickness of a hockey puck, but twice as big as a hockey puck.
Wow, I got it open here, guys, for you guys to see it. And for audio listeners, it's like the size of a Frisbee is what it is.
Frisbee.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong one. It's the 10 kilo silver bullion dragon coin Year of the Dragon bar. Because the 10 kilo one's as big as a Frisbee. It's huge. It's thick, too. It's got to be at least 3 inches thick. That's 10 kilos, says Pure Grosso. Yeah, 10 keys, man. Wow, that's a lot of silver, man.
Speaking of 10 keys, when is Lord Humungus going to JP Morgan to hook up there?
I don't know. I just had him on the show. I should have asked him because he was going to go to JP and try and see if he could buy a key of Coke because then this way, he could unload some of it for them,
Yeah. I wonder what happened to all that shipment.
That's
sure didn't make it to
Winnipeg. Wow, look at this Year of the Dragon 10 kilo gold friggin' brick. What's that worth? 10 keys of gold. What's 10 keys of gold? What's 1 key of gold going for?
Kilo, 600,000. I'm off. I don't know. What's a kilo of gold? Isn't it like 60 grand?
Yeah, something like that. 50.
10 kilos, 600 grand. I don't know.
That's a lot of gold. 10 keys, man. Holy smokes.
10 keys of anything is a lot.
Oh, Lord Humungus says he tried. They said they called the cops on him.
Yeah. Uh,
Here's the Australian lunar series of the wow. These thing I don't know. Wow. This is phenomenal, man. You don't see this kind of stuff like every day, right? So it's like looking at something like at this size of this.
Silver production peaked in 2015. We had a 2% drop in ore grades last year, and they expect a 2% drop this year. The world adds 90,000 people a day to the planet, all of which will consume silver from day one. Even a baby, in the toys that they use for the baby monitor, everything uses silver. So a baby might use 1/10 of an ounce of silver a year. And as they grow into adulthood, depending on the region they're in, they'll get up to an ounce of silver per year on all the electronics that they buy. And that we're adding 90,000 people a year. Silver's dropping continuously from its peak in 2015. Do the math.
Let me ask you. I mean, it's just a hypothetical question because there's. What do you think? Silver above ground, that's actually weighed and set, for trade, versus paper. How much paper certificates and paper derivatives and all this garbage that's out there, IOUs and silver, is out there in reflection to how much silver is above ground? What's the ratio? I'm thinking for every real 1 ounce of silver above ground, there's like 50 ounces on paper.
It fluctuates, hey? That's a heavily fluctuating market. Like look at even in the last month, paper contracts probably were at all-time highs in the last month. Now that the casino's up and running and everyone's back to the blackjack tables, so they're away from the silver and gold, they're back in the heroin hut there. It's going to be low again. What's gold? It's a game of musical chairs. It's a big fraud is all it is. It's a fraud that they let run. It's pretty much ingenious though, eh? You're running out of an asset? Okay, hey, can somebody show me where there's a meteorite? Bring me a couple meteorites, and then I'll open a paper contract on meteorites. Well, I got 2 in the vault. You can buy paper contracts on my meteorites. It's the same game, man. You can make it up about anything. But if you don't got the product to cover the paper, then it's just a fraud.
Well, JP Morgan screwed because they have so much gold certificates, gold and silver certificates out there. So is Deutsche Bank. People can't get their gold back from Deutsche Bank, and they're going in. They bought gold at $800, $900, even $1,000 an ounce. They're going in and trying to change their certificates and getting their real bullion, and they're not sending it to them. Or they say, yeah, we sent it in the mail, just wait. And it's like, it's been 3 months,
The central banks around the world are buying gold. So that leads me to believe that gold is going to play some part in our future currency. It'll probably be a digital backed currency with gold at some rate of 20 or 40% backed by gold. Gold, watch what they do. They make the rules. Right now, they're buying gold. So we'll buy gold, I've heard for the paper contracts, I've heard anywhere from 1 ounce physical to 500 contracts.
What?
1 ounce.
That's huge.
That was a while ago, but David Morgan was talking about that, and that's and if you can't settle, they'll pay you in fiat. Oh, sorry, we don't got the gold. Well, here's your money. Here's your money for that, but you can't acquire gold. We'll give you a currency that's depreciating at 7% a year. Here, we just printed up 20 billion and injected it into the European economy. Here, have some of it. Give us your gold. Thanks. It's not even 2-ply, that currency.
Hey, why don't maybe one time when you come out to BC, maybe we could go stake some land, put some stakes out and just maybe do some gold panning.
You know what? That's a good point. When this stuff takes off, everybody's going to be looking for it. That's what they do in Zimbabwe. The women, they pound for gold. I think they try to get half a gram a day. They can survive and run their families.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They've completely collapsed there. You got 5.5 million people starving in Zimbabwe now. Argentina, Pakistan's economy is falling apart now. India's in trouble. Argentina, Venezuela, Brazil, South Africa, go around the whole world. Where's there a shining star out there?
No, well, but when things like this happen, we just go to war with 5 different countries and keep it going.
Yeah.
Here it
So you
is.
got to get all the noise that they tell you out of your head. Oh, we have a vibrant economy. Everything's get that all
Oh,
out of
I know
your
that's a bunch
head.
of garbage, right?
Know the truth. Common sense. Know the truth. Get yourself some metal.
Here it is. There's the top seller right here at SD Bullion, right there. 9999999 pure fine gold, 1 ounce pure of Canadian silver. Gold, Canadian gold. The golden leaf.
Yeah, we're going to get a rally going into this crash. Your silver stocks are going to go to sleep for a little while, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to have a hard Brexit coming up here. That's going to create some excitement.
So
Brexit.
yeah, look, they even sell scales. They even sell everything for this stuff. Well, they even have a precious metal verifier.
Tester.
Yeah, that's
You know
amazing,
what?
dude.
The best way that silver is just put a little earth magnet on it, tip it sideways. It won't slide off just freely. It'll have a little bit of magnetism to it. It'll just hold very slowly and slide off. That's a great way for testing silver.
Mm-hmm. Well, these guys have some really good reviews. They got like 69 5-star reviews on their.
Oh yeah, they sell fake silver. They're done. First time that's found out,
Oh yeah, that's not going to go on for long, right?
but it's out there.
Oh, I believe you.
We had a guy in Winnipeg here on Kijiji, a kid selling Apmex 1 ounce Apmex bars from China. My friend bought $1,200 worth from this kid. It was just too good of a deal. It was just below spot. It's like, wow, I can save $2-3 per ounce.
Mm-hmm.
$1,200 worth. Then he found out that it was filled with copper or brass inside. I think it was brass.
Tungsten,
No, not tungsten. That's for
gold.
gold, the same weight as gold. It was brass. So me and my friend went and met this kid at Tim Hortons, and he had $400 worth of these Apmex bars in the parking lot. My buddy was holding the bag, and we're standing by my truck, and he says, "Yeah," he says, $20 an ounce, you guys, which was a great deal at the time. And my buddy hands me one of the ounces, and I reach in the back of my truck and I pull out a DeWalt drill and I stick it into the ounce. I punch, and that kid ran. He grabbed his bag and he gone across the parking lot. Just took off running as fast. It was a Chinese copy.
Wow.
We knew that. And you know what? There's little indicators where it says ounce,
Mm-hmm.
one troy ounce. There's no S. It's not plural.
See, fake gold is China's thriving criminal industry.
Yeah. Be careful what you buy.
There's the indicator bar tester thing there, right there. Method to analyze. Wow, look at that. People watching at home, take a look at this, guys. Wow, look at this. I'm looking at a gold bar. It's got tungsten going through, tungsten rods going right through the middle. Wow, that is phenomenal. Wow. That's wow. The people that actually sell this kind of crap. Well, there's going to be always a phony market. See, this is it from China. 1 troy ounce Walking Liberty tungsten gold plated American Eagle coin for collectible art. So you got to be careful. So it even says tungsten collectible art. And look at that. Phew. Wow. counterfeit gold Krugerrand coin. Krugerrand coin.
Yeah. Africa.
Here's another one here. China reportedly received 6,000 gold bars, 400 ounce, that originated from the United States that were stored in Fort Knox for years. Their serial numbers provided tracking. Purity tests were performed by drilling 4 small holes into the bars to analyze the base metal. All of the bars revealed tungsten cores beneath their relatively thick surface layer of 24 karat plating.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Tungsten bars.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're filling those bars with tungsten? Where's all the gold?
Yeah, where is all the gold?
Why can't they audit? Why can't they audit the gold?
Oh, God forbid they do that, because then it's going to go through the roof when they realize there's not enough of it on Earth.
Well, they say the vaults are empty, and Switzerland can't refine enough for China and Russia, and now everyone's in on it. Poland's even got a lot of gold. They bought 100 tons of gold.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I know Portugal still has one of the biggest gold reserves in Europe, only because they had their currency backed by gold before they jumped on the euro, but they have this very real reserve of gold. Not like, oh, it's underneath the Twin Towers, like most countries had their gold.
Underneath the Twin Towers.
Yeah, it's underneath the Twin Towers. That's where most countries had their gold. And they always downplay Portugal. Let's see, Portugal gold reserve. They're one of the few countries that were kind of like Portugal was like the country where it was like the Venezuela of Europe, where they kind of went they went against the banking system, they went against everything during the Salazarian regime, and monetary reserves. Has the fourth highest ratio of gold reserves. See, Portugal is among the nations with the biggest gold reserves.
How much do they have?
Let's see.
Like 500 tons or something?
They have 383 tons in storage, and I think they have 79 tons in backing assets or something, or backing. And then, so Portugal's reserves represent the highest proportion of GDP at 9.49% in the developed world, when including all nations, is only behind Lebanon, which stands at 10.32%. So Portugal has gold. They had gold. Their currency was backed by gold, right? And they refused to join the World Bank. They refused to join this Ponzi crap,
Hey, it's a race to zero with the rates. What did I read today? Vietnam is now lowering the rates.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
I was just another story. It's hard to keep up on how many countries are lowering their rates right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've seen the bond, like all the countries in the developed world. It shows you it's all red, and then at the bottom it's got New Zealand, Canada, US.
Mm-hmm.
Couple down at the bottom are still green in their bond markets, above zero, above negative.
Above zero, yes. Yeah.
It's just that whole chart's going to be red by next year.
Oh, there's nowhere else for it to go. It's a race to the bottom.
I wonder if Palaz is going to cut rates in October.
I don't know. If America does, I don't know what Canada's going to do.
They're going to cut. If they don't cut, the Twitter in chief there is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
Trump will lose it if they don't cut. He's already losing it.
Well, they're going to start buying back their debt with devalued currency, right? And that's going to make it even worse.
Currency. They've told us many times exactly the playbook. They've told us many times we're going to inflate our currency. They're not going to pay their deficit. That's impossible. They're not going to default on it. They won't do that. So they're going to inflate the currency. That's so many of the people that are in the financial space have quoted that's what they're going to say when they tell their stories. Like Martin Armstrong, he said he went to the White House to prep a president on the economy, and he told the the Secretary Treasury. He said, "You guys, I just did a quick calculation here. At the rate you're going, you're going to be over $1 trillion in debt after 2000." They looked at him and said, "Don't worry, Marty. We're going to pay it back with inflated dollars." It's their playbook, man. They're going to inflate the currency to nothing.
Well, they're just going to keep buying back their own debt till it gets to a point where it goes into semi-hyperinflation, and then they're going to add 2 zeros to every bill out there. They're going to add 2 more zeros. Then they're going to pay it back like that.
There's only one way hyperinflation can occur. That's through a loss of confidence in your government. Mm-hmm. That's it. So how do you lose confidence in a government? You put a whack job in place. You put a nutcase up there, twittering shit. "Where's my favorite dictator?" That's what he yelled at the G7 across the room. "Where's my favorite dictator?"
Woo!
Well, you know what? He's a nut. He was put there to create to destabilize and create a loss of confidence in the government. That's what if you can remember the exact way everything works and use common sense to go, which way will they go? That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't even talk about reducing debts. "Oh, we're going to take care of this. We're going to cut some spending here and try and balance this." They don't talk about that. Mm-hmm. No, they don't. They got the pedal right down to the floor. The case of beer in the back seat. They're going down a gravel road at 120. They don't care. They're not stopping.
So do you think Trump has prolonged this crash from happening? Because I think if Hillary went in, I think it would have been an all-out disaster right from the start.
See,
because she would have invaded Iran right away.
You know what? They're going to do whatever their handlers tell them to do. Everybody we see from Trump down is an employee. We don't get to see management. Management is insulated. You're never going to run into management. You're never going to see the Rothschilds implicated in scandal. You want to get up to the people who are calling the shots? Go to them. You got to ask them if they were going to let Hillary do this or Hillary do that. Unfortunately, when the Rothschilds were hosting Hillary's campaign dinner at $100,000 a plate.
Did you go there?
No, I wasn't at that one. No.
Oh, okay.
They were having fish. I don't like fish. Anyways, while they were hosting her dinner party at $100,000 a plate, they had their selected candidate, who they selected over there, Trump, running around. But they're smoke and mirrors to take the eyes off them, putting their candidate in place. They held their little $100,000 dinner party for Hillary to give them an alibi. Kind of like a stupid president sitting in a kindergarten room reading a book upside down on September 11th. You always want that alibi, eh? You know what I mean?
Good acting on my part. I think that deserves an Oscar.
I think that George Bush is the worst actor on the planet.
Reagan was good, though. Reagan was good. He was actually in movies.
Do you want to know the best actor on the planet? And I'll tell you, genius levels, man. Genius. Donald Trump. That guy's the best actor on the planet by far. Mm-hmm. He's got everybody fooled that he's some crazy guy, this and that. Everything he's doing is by design. This is all by design.
Guys, we got Gemini King in the comment section saying, "Hey, bro, Gemini King is the intro song for Mike and the Night, guys. So check out his channel. Click on his little emoji there. Go to, if you want, if people asking me about the Mike and the Night intro song, it's on the Gemini King channel. Type in Mike and the Night and you'll find it there. And yeah, I know that Donald Trump is obviously a better pick than Hillary. I know that 100-1. Someone in the comments is saying, but Supreme Cannon is talking there. He's saying that globalization is basically over. So Raven, should we get Supreme on now or what?
Yeah. Get Supreme on. But what he said, globalization is over. We're like our globalized trade with China. You know, they're talking that now they can see that we're going to be done trading with China. There's stories coming out saying this could end our trade. We could reverse globalization. I need Supreme to talk about globalization. That's a very, if we lose globalization, we're going to lose 60% of our traffic right now. We can't take that many layoffs. That's a big, yeah. Okay, call Supreme up. Get him to talk about that stuff.
Okay. All right, Raven. Thanks so much, and God bless you. I got your message. You sent me a book. I'm waiting for it, and maybe I'll read some of it when it arrives.
There's a coffee or two in the front page there.
Is there?
Yeah, or 50.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out when it comes in. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so
And I
much.
got
God bless you.
for you on Wednesday too. Don't forget.
Yes, trends in the housing market.
Next will be coming on.
Perfect.
Right
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Take care. That is the Raven. The Raven is always, always, always there, ready to come on the show to give us a little bit of insight. So let's get Supreme Cannon on. We got to get a little bit of insight on what he sees happening right now, because right now we are. I feel at the beginning of the show, I felt really down. I feel better now. I felt down because I put so much invested into so much silver stock that paper stocks that it's going to go down because oil might go up, because I knew they were going to start something with oil. Anyways, let's get Supreme Cannon on.
Hola, Miguel.
Hey, ¿cómo estás?
So far so good, man. I don't know what's still ringing here.
What is going on, buddy? What is going on? I just want to know what's going on. Like, I pulled out of oil. I was waiting for this war to happen. It never happened. And I said, you know what? Oil's been stagnant for too long. I'm going to jump onto metals. Metals did okay for a while, and then boom. Did I make the wrong move, or what's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what exactly is going on in Saudi Arabia right now. Let's just hang on a second. I got to turn this volume down. Yeah. No, you'll be fine with silver. I think it's a pullback. I don't
silver and gold miners that I have, right? And I have physical silver. I just have it for the sake of having some physical investment, right?
Yeah, well, same here. I mean, that's the thing. We argue about what's the most valuable thing to have. Man, have some of all of it. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Everybody thinks they know, right? I mean, I don't know of anyone who has an opinion that thinks it's wrong, and I'm no different, Mike. But yeah, I mean, just look at the cost of energy if we wind up in a wartime situation, right? Like, you wind up in a wartime situation, what are governments going to have to do? They're going to have to spend more money. So that's going to drive rates down even lower. Mm-hmm. Right, so going to flood the world with money. There's going to be rationing. There's going to be all kinds of things. There'll be opportunities for your silver to become very valuable, because silver is a strategic metal. If we go into a wartime situation, or even an official wartime situation, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be calling up millions of people, but they're going to need those strategic minerals, right? Mm-hmm. And silver is one of the top ones. It's the top of the list, probably. Well, I shouldn't say that. Depleted uranium gets valuable too, of course. Mm-hmm. But this attack in Saudi Arabia this afternoon took out half their production. It'll be interesting to see what happens Monday morning. But
I think
they'll just turn the taps
slightly rally. Somebody was saying that you could see oil maybe go to 60 and then drop back down.
Yeah, because they'll just turn the taps on somewhere else. Exactly how extensive the damage is on the Saudi side, we'll see.
They say they're going to have it back up by they'll be back up and running by Monday. So it's already Sunday right now in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So they should have it up by Sunday our time here.
Yeah, that's right. The implication, of course, is they're blaming Iran right now, at least officially blaming Iran, although apparently some Yemeni rebels are claiming credit for it. But who the hell knows? Who knows who fired those? Mm-hmm. They say they were drones, but I've just seen some pictures, and it looks like the tail section of missiles. So, I mean, they could have been launched from a submarine. They could have come from the Chinese or the Israelis, or anybody could have done it. Who knows?
Who knows?
Good Lord. Their satellite detection equipment will probably be able to tell where they came from. Right now they're saying Iran, but which just seems ironic because Trump just chucked John Bolton, the last of the big neocons, who's just been slavering for a war with Iran for years. And, it seems ironic, but he might get his wish. But the problem is you still got to approach it carefully, because the Iranians are at least unofficially linked up with China and Russia.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a matter of, well, we're going to walk in like they did in Iraq and overrun the place in 3 weeks. I don't think the Chinese and the Russians are going to take kindly to that.
Well, I heard from through the grapevine or through the my ear to the ground. I actually heard from somebody in Brazil who is a very well known. He's very well known in the markets and understands and follows patterns and does very well financially. He told me today. Today's Saturday. He told me on Thursday of this past week here. He told me that Iran might join the BRICS nations.
I could see them want to do that. There'd be all kinds of advantages to it.
Yeah, he says Iran and Venezuela might join the BRICS nations.
I could see why they would want to do that. Yeah, because they are industrializing. Obviously, the Chinese are in major trouble right now. The idea that this trade war is a stalemate is just garbage. I mean, the U.S. can source all kinds of things from elsewhere in the world. They're still the dominant currency. So if all of a sudden, there's probably a dozen other countries with manufacturing facilities just rubbing their hands that, oh, good, the Chinese are gone now, we can take over. And of course, there'll be some repatriation of capital to the United States and the resumption of some manufacturing there. There's still a lot of things being made in the United States. It's still one of the largest manufacturing nations in the world. It's just a lot of their heavy industry was gutted. So that's been a major problem. But, they could change that in a hurry. It doesn't mean that Detroit, Michigan will be the industrial jewel of the world anymore. But, all it takes is money. And there's lots of that looking for a home. And the U.S., I mentioned in the comments, the greenback is one of the 3 or 4 currencies left in the world that has a positive yield across the curve. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a lot of greenbacks are going to be flooding back in the United States looking for a return.
Especially for European money that's bailing out of Europe right now because they're all pretty much all in negative territory. They're flooding their money into U.S. markets and hoping that it stays above zero. Yeah,
absolutely. Europe's going to have a lot of political instability. There is a lot. There always was. Mm-hmm. Europe is famously unstable. The idea they were going to turn it all into the United States of Europe was kind of a joke. I mean, they should have arrayed it more like Switzerland. Switzerland has got 4 official languages and it's got all of these self-governing cantons. The federal government really doesn't have that much power.
Right.
If they did something like that, it might have worked out. But they're just trying to take more control over the continent now. The ECB and the EU Parliament, and they're going to get more resistance for it. People are not on board with their program anymore. Not all of them, anyway.
Right. Interesting. I'm just very, very interested to see where things are going to head come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll probably see a small ripple and spike in oil, but I do see metals going down a bit, and this is why I'm kind of,
I think so. I mean, if there is a possibility of a war, you might actually see them go back up. If you have financial instability, it may not translate into the Dow Jones because, of course, all the U.S. Treasury has to do is pump it back up. And keep it from falling, like forestall a panic. Mm-hmm. And at that point, people they'll get the message, well, your money is safe in stocks because U.S. Treasury will always pump it up. On the other hand, it means inflation is going to start getting out of control. So they're going to start looking for other places to put their money. I mean, there's just not a lot of places anymore where you can get a return. So it's still... if you've got some silver in the sock drawer, guys, hang on to it, and some gold. It's pointed on here. You won't get rich on it, and that's true. It's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to preserve your purchasing power in another form other than ones and zeros on a computer screen.
Right.
Or that paper in your wallet. That's all it is. Keep 5-10% of your total wealth in precious metals, and it'll be a good shock absorber for you. That's all. It makes sure that you don't lose your wealth while everybody who's up to their neck in debt all over the rest of the world gets hammered. Just don't be those people.
Right.
That's all.
That's That's why I got some silver here. It's just because I don't want to. I just want to have that bartering power for me and my family if there's something that happens or something major that happens, right? So,
Exactly. You're thinking about yourself, your wife, your kids, your mom, right? You've got to think about you got little ones, you got to think about the future. There's no choice. It just changes everything. My kids are all grown. My parents, so far as I know, are fine. But
mhm.
yeah, I've got the rest of my clan to think about, not just me. Would I like to, wind up in the event of a crash, owning 10 acres on the side of a lake somewhere and be the local kingpin? I'm not going to lie and say that isn't a pleasant thought, but there's going to be some ugliness between now and then, and those are the things that you have to think about too. If silver went to $500 an ounce, what else is going on in the world? You might not want to go outside for a while.
Right. Right.
So have some food and have some cash, or make sure you got some couple of zeros in the ATM just in case they don't collapse, right? And just plan on a relatively normal life, continuing your day-to-day routine. Okay, but understand that some things are going to get hard to get, either because they can't be obtained at any price because of rationing in some form,
Mhm.
or the price just gets too high.
Okay, we got Sidgebrad in the comments saying Middle East, including Iran, running out of oil. EU already gave him up as a present oil supplier. Then we got
Yeah.
Zombie Apocalypse Gary. Gold has been the best performing asset over the last 20 years, even better than real estate. Need to look at the long term in the short term dips. So I have this graph that I had open. Where did I put it? Oh, did I close it? There's a really good graph that actually they predicted in 2015. There it is. This is the silver long scale, people. So this is printed and published in 2015 in April, and they're right on the money here from what they predicted where silver on the long scale is going to be headed.
Yeah.
So they're predicting about a trajectory of about $33 US by first quarter of January 2020. And they're on the money so far from 2015. They haven't made one single mistake.
I think is that Deviant Investor? Is that Gary Christensen?
No,
That looks like one of his graphs.
No, this is something else. This is Deviant Investor. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think he's been making good calls. I mean, of course, no one can predict the future here, right?
No,
But
no, of course not.
but if you look at the sheer supply of money being flooded into the world, and look at how difficult it is to get cheap energy, because Iran's oil fields, Saudi Arabia's oil fields. Some of the American oil fields, America supposedly is the largest oil producer on the planet again. Hasn't been for a very long time. But some of those are fracking. That stuff, you get a flood of oil at first, but then it starts to taper off. I'm tending to think that oil is abiotic, like it is something that occurs spontaneously. The problem is these pools of oil, if you're taking it out at a particular metered rate, you don't deplete these fields. Well, these people need the money. So, I mean, they pump day and night. Pemex, the Mexican fields.
Pemex, yeah.
Pemex, yeah, they've done similar things, like because they've used that oil to backstop their economy and all the social programs they have to prevent starvation and, revolt and things like that, right? So they've been pumping heavy out of these fields, and in some cases they've geologically damaged them. I mean, you can't let bureaucrats decide oil production. You got to let engineers do that. Well, nobody's doing that. Look at the problems Boeing has had. Boeing used to be a company of engineers, but then the bean counters started taking over, and then you wound up with things like the 737 MAX, right? You had a couple of crashes of literally brand new aircraft. Well, it's the same problem. You've got bureaucrats and bean counters taking over from what engineers and scientists should be telling you what to do, and then arranging your financial affairs accordingly. This isn't happening a lot anymore.
No.
And there's political expediency too. Like in Europe, obviously, if they want to keep this EU project going, well, then they've got to keep the economy suspended in midair. Mm-hmm. Even though every once in a while, it's kind of like it's 10 o'clock at night and you've been awake for 3 days straight, and you just need to lie down and sleep for a few hours. right? That's basically what a recession is. That's a picture of a recession. And they're like, no, you need more coffee. You need more uppers. Here, chug a couple of Red Bull. We can't have you falling asleep now.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, no, stay awake a little bit longer, kind of a thing, right? It's or your bathroom. You got to flush the toilet on a regular basis, and they're like, no, not yet. You can't do it yet. It's not the right time. It's these things. They take on a speed and a direction of their own, and I saw something on Twitter today about this attack in Saudi Arabia, and he said, who could have guessed that the black swan would be a drone?
Yeah.
You know what a black swan is,
Yes.
guys. Nicholas Taleb, right? Nassim Taleb. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things. The whole thing is on this quaking marsh, and it just anything hitting it from any direction, a slight breeze will tip the whole damn thing over. Well, it looks to me like someone is trying to tip it over with this strike in Saudi Arabia. I don't know where these drones or rockets came from. I have no idea, but the U.S. says it's Iran, and I think
the U.S. is going to say it's Iran. Jeez.
Of course they are, yeah.
Okay, hold on, Supreme.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, I'm going to plug my channel here. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. You're listening to Mike in the Night. I want to thank all my long-haul drivers that are actually plugging me on some board somewhere along I-10, Interstate 10, down in across from Florida, all the way down to Los Angeles, California. Highway 10's a long route, and I want to thank all the long-haul truckers that are downloading this on YouTube Premium and listening to it on replay. Again, thank you so much, and don't forget to support me on Patreon if you want to pledge $1 a month to the transmission. I got 16 Patreons right now. Thank you, guys. And don't forget, guys, I'm on Instagram, too. I've been on it for years, but I've never really go on. But I'll go up and put some photos up once in a while. Here it is in the links there. If you guys want to find me on Instagram, go ahead. And, I just wanted to plug. You're listening to Mike in the Night right now. Wherever you're listening to this, I want to thank everybody. We got Supreme Cannon on right now, and he's going nuts. He's got some good stuff. And let's get him on. Let's ask him about. I want to ask him what I asked the Raven. How much, silver, aka let's start with gold. How many gold certificates out there have been issued, paper versus physical? I think it's from every ounce of gold. I think there's maybe 700 paper certificates.
I think that would be a good average. I've heard numbers from 400 to 1,000. I think it fluctuates because a lot of futures contracts, they stand for a certain period of time and then they expire, right? Or they get sold back into the market. I mean, you're buying a forward contract for a certain number of ounces of silver or gold or oil or anything else for that, any commodity. And then if you either sell it or you renew it, well, if they don't get rolled over, then they expire.
Right.
But I think at any given time, 500 to 700 ounces on paper for every ounce that actually exists. And that definitely affects the underlying price. And I have no doubt that there's all kinds of shenanigans going on. I've heard words like spoofing and, naked shorting and things like that. I have no doubt some of that is going on.
Oh, it's going on a lot, actually. There's a couple of investors that are this last week they were on trial, and they've testified that they've spoofed the markets. They testified and said, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah.
So
there's been several times now.
A $4 million fine off the $18 million they made.
Yeah, it's just a joke, eh?
So it's you get me, right? So it is happening. There's people testifying on this, right? It's been going on for a couple of weeks now. And remember back in, what was it, 2015, I think it was, when all these bankers were jumping off roofs?
Oh yeah, well it'd been nice if there'd been more. I have a feeling those ones were Arkansas-sided,
Mm-hmm.
It was probably they were probably helped through the windows.
There was 6 of them jump off the roofs in a matter of 2 weeks. I remember that.
Yeah, or found dead at home or something like that. Suicide with 2 shots to the back of the head with a bolt-action rifle kind of thing. I mean that by itself says 2 things. One, it says yes, there's a lot of dirty business going on. Keep your wallet close to your side. And the other thing it says is there's an awful lot of people out there that think they can do things like this and know that the justice system won't touch them. But I think what happens is you got economic forces that even these guys can't control. And, when people aren't buying the narrative anymore, and they can't control it, and then what happens in a case like that is then you have something like this strike on the Saudi refineries, right? Or you have a sudden collapse in a bank. Something comes out of left field and just gives them a right cross, and they get stunned and they don't know what to do. And their solution is always just turn the money taps back up. But you get to a point where if things start heading downwards faster than they can pump money in, they won't be able to react fast enough to prevent another crash. We're due for another one already. We're overdue for it.
Overdue like 5 years now.
I think so. They just tried to undo the business cycle and try to basically paper over the wreckage from 2008, and they haven't succeeded. Their checks are clearing. They're getting their bonuses. They're buying more yachts. They're continuing to, snort, J.P. Morgan off of,
Yeah, I know. Lord Humungus, they're going to call the cops on him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Jumping bankers are good for the economy, Lord Humungus says. Yes, they're very good. They raise morale. They really. Now, if they were hanging like clusters of grapes off lampposts, it would be a real spike to people's morale. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen soon, because those people are the ones that tend to live in the behind walls up in the Hamptons or something, right?
Yeah.
But all that you have to do as an individual is understand the situation and then run your life kind of like a central bank, have some hard reserves. If banks are holding some gold, or they're holding some silver, or they're holding some stocks, or they're holding some land, well, try to be like that. Because in the end, part of the reason that we're in the situation we are in is prior to money being taken off the gold standard, it was tied to something real. And gold was imperfect. There were lots of crashes and depressions when we had a gold standard, because people are greedy and they're stupid and they speculate, and that stuff just happens anyway, right?
Yeah.
But
I got this on the wire here on Zero Hedge. Ex-NFL player arrested for Jesse Smollett-style hate crime hoax, hoping to looking for a quick insurance payout. Man, people are still trying to. God, they're trying everything to make money. People are getting so desperate. There's another article here. Home prices downhill from here, and this week's quaint catastrophic did not lead to a market crash. They're talking about the 10-year bond, Treasury bond, just take off this week, and that was historical. I couldn't believe that. Wall Street ignores cynical jobs growth downturn as employment indicator hits Great Recession levels. Guys, I brought this up many times that we're hitting it. We're in the lowest production quarter that we've ever been since the Great Recession.
Yeah, well, it's tough. It's tough out there. It really is. Trees don't grow to the sky, and you've got all of these financial systems, pension funds and personal retirement plans and things like this, and all kinds of money, university endowments, trillions and trillions of dollars under management, all looking for 7 or 8 or 10% returns per year. Well, trees don't grow to the sky. They just don't. Eventually you reach a point, like I've said many times, you top the roller coaster or that car that spins out on the snowy hill, you just can't keep going. It's got to go backwards sometimes.
Well, Solid Extra has a good Solid Extra has a good question here. On a scale from 2008 recession to Mad Max, how bad will this crash be? Will it last longer than 2008 recession? Okay, this is my opinion. 2008 recession didn't go fully into crash mode because of the bailouts. If the governments didn't step in and let the banks fail and let everybody fail and blah, 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 we would have had a fresh restart. And by now, today, we would have had a nice restart in the global economy. But because the feds and everybody and quantitative easing, all that crap, did not allow the 2008 recession to hit the levels they should have. And I believe that this next crash is the 2008 recession was a walk in the park in comparison to this next crash. What do you think? Supreme?
Well, instead of trying to survive a fall from the 3rd floor, now we're going to have to try to survive a fall from the 5th floor. right? Like it's just going to be that much bigger of a crash, and it's probably going to go lower than it did in 2008. So we're talking a major evaporation of a lot of paper wealth. Now, being paper wealth, of course, the solution to that is continue to open up the taps and flood the market again. But the money by now, its purchasing power is getting so diluted, and there's going to be a lot of political upheaval. So I don't think it'll be Mad Max, but I think that it'll be reminiscent of the early 30s. A lot of people's, and this is the thing about times like that, there were a lot of people's assumptions about what the future was going to look like at that time, which turned out to be wrong. It won't be any different this time. It really won't. We could have just looking at something that Zombie Apocalypse is saying. Yeah, they could print money till the Dow is over 60 to avoid a crash, in which case the dollar would be worth less. Yeah, the Dow Jones is just tracking the devaluation of the dollar. I mean, it's priced in U.S. dollars. You know, I mean, in terms of people's purchasing power and everything else, obviously it hasn't kept up. I saw a graph today from 1990 to today. Individual productivity went up 75%.
But then
right?
our wages haven't moved in 40 years. There's this huge gap in delta in pay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's an enormous delta. Wages are basically flat and have been since that time. In fact, they've gone down. I saw a graph from Casey Research 10 years ago, and it tracked the Dow Jones priced in gold from 1969 to that time, and basically it was flat. So all the Dow is doing is tracing inflation. So if you can't use gold and silver as a measure for inflation, well, I guess you can use the Dow Jones because it's definitely, it's a good track of it. It's just, they can pump it full of money, but it's not real wealth being created. Corporate earnings are expected to take a dive next quarter.
Okay, you ready for this one? You ready for this one, dude?
Sure.
Nuclear war with Russia, winnable, says Trump's incoming national security advisor. You gotta be kidding me!
Yeah, no, stuff like that. I don't take too much. I don't take too much exception to stuff like that. They're not advocating war. They're just rattling their sabers. And there comes a point in time where they have to do that once in a while because there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. There was the RCMP just arrested the head or the deputy of a major intelligence agency in Canada because he was giving away state secrets. We don't think of Canada as a world power, but it is. And we're interacting with all of these other world powers like the United States and Britain and major European, other nations that are allies of ours. And we're also a conduit of information from all of these places as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of espionage and a lot of subterfuge and a lot of jockeying for position. So I don't think it's that reckless to say something like that. It's probably just a matter of sending a subtle message to Mr. Putin's, his hardliners that, you don't want to go this way because we think we can win. And maybe they'll think of that and they'll think, my God, these Yankees are crazy. Well, that works good too. The American military doctrine, it's a joke that they have in the U.S. military. It's like, if we don't know what the hell we're doing, then our enemies don't either. Right? So sometimes they just want to look crazy. Trump isn't crazy and he's not dumb, right? I'm not saying he's a good person. I don't know that, and neither do you. I'm not saying he's a genius. I don't know that either. All I know is that he got in there when everything was about to, as far as I'm concerned, was about to implode into an American civil war and possibly a major global disaster. Maybe all he's done is bought the good people some time to get ready. The smart ones are probably doing that. The ones that think that everything's just going to go back to the way it was from 1980 till today, well, they're dreaming. Those days are over. That's not happening. There is an oil. One of your commenters here mentioned BP said that current rates of extraction, there's 53 years of oil left. Well, at that rate of extraction, if you have a major financial collapse, oil consumption is going to go down a lot.
There'll be a breakdown in the energy sector.
A breakdown in the energy sector, a breakdown in probably all kinds of power generation. I mean, when you have a recession, people go home. If they don't have jobs, they go home. They pull in their horns. The government might send everybody checks. Well, then just recreates inflation. It's one of those situations where not being tied to something like a gold standard is a good thing, because they can get money into people's hands again and at least get some spending and some shopping going. But there's going to be major unrest. But like you said, that fella that was trying to pull a Jussie Smollett and get some free money. Yeah, we've hit peak greed in so many ways, that people are just doing all of these unbelievably disgusting things, just out and out lying, just to get money. You know, how many young women are there now on like Twitch and places like that just basically, shake their junk for a couple hours a day, and guys send them money, right? Yeah. Like, we're talking a complete moral collapse, Mike. All right, and that's part of late stage, financial debauchery like what we've had. So it's got to end, and I think it's just when enough people are disgusted and they don't take part in it anymore because they realize what's going on, they start pulling in their horns. And when that happens, then there is no amount of money that will keep things going forever. It's going to crash, and it needs to crash.
Hold on a second. I want to look this up. Who the hell is this K-A-R-D-A Kardashian? Who are these people?
The Kardashians? Oh, who the hell knows?
I don't even know who they are. If somebody mentioned that, I hear it sometimes, like if I'm listening, like maybe to like a radio or something, and they talk about news or something, and they always have to bring in this stupid, like, even if I'm listening to Bloomberg, they have to bring in, the Kardashians today did this and this and that. It's like, who cares? What is it? What is this thing? Is this like a TV show or something?
Apparently, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Yeah, they're tied into. I think the mama was married to Bruce Jenner, who was a very famous, obviously, athlete and all the rest of it, although he was washed up, obviously, as an athlete. So to regain relevance and arguably to try to escape some kind of problem with gambling debts, decided to turn into a woman. You see, you got all this trans stuff going on right now. I don't know what that's about, man, but I think it's just to get people stirred up so they'll keep spending money.
Yeah, I don't know who these people are. I have no idea who these people are. I don't know. I hear it sometimes. It's like, I don't know these people. I've never, you know what? It's safe to say I don't know these people. Why? Because they don't know me. So that's good, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If they're not a factor in your life, that's great. It's like these, it's like Paris Hilton, 10 years ago, right? Like, she's the daughter and an heiress to the Hilton hotel fortune, right? And they made a celebrity out of her. And she just wound up to be just another trollop.
But
she's a rich trollop.
Solid Extra in the comments saying Kanye West married Kim Kardashian. What the hell kind of name is Kanye?
Kanye is, was he rapper, hip hop, something like that, I guess. Oh, this stuff has just left me behind for so long. No,
dude, what the hell kind of name is that? Kanye.
Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of interesting names today. West. Yeah.
What the hell kind of name is Kanye? Imagine going back to the 1960s and sitting down with one of the Black Panther leaders in New York, and you sit down and say, "Hi, my name is Kanye." He'll look at you and say, "What the hell kind of name is Kanye?"
That's right. Yeah, everyone there is named Leroy and John and Andrew, and I'm Kanye, or Shaniqua, or even the suburban soccer moms are calling their kids like Brittany with a Y and two T's, or Raylan, Caden, Jaden, whatever. And that's fine. People can do what they want.
But the name is Kanye. It's like
yeah.
Someone saying, Ryan is saying Kim got famous for being on a sex tape. Really?
Damn. Yeah. She's in a sex tape. Yeah, her previous boyfriend.
See, I don't know this stuff.
That's right. And this is the thing, Mike. The previous boyfriend, he got even more famous because then he made a song going, "I got her first," or something like that, right? And everybody knows who he is now, right? So he got a top 5 hip hop or something like that for a while because bragging about, I got her before Kanye did, right? They're just disgusting people. I don't care about them. I don't want to know about them.
Yeah, what, guys? I'll be very frank with you. I'm just more kind of like focused on. See, this is proof to you guys that I'm focused more on my family and focused on, what's happening in global markets / global news / global events, and keeping up with what's really happening in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem that we have as parents, especially because you've got such young ones, mine are at least they're in their 20s now. Uh, they're you got to know about this stuff because they're all walking around now with these phones. And and you've got girls that are in college and they're selling themselves as sugar babies, right? And nobody knows about this stuff. Like, good God. It's like it's a problem. You have to be at least aware of it.
Dude, listen to me. I heard, I was going through some video games in the store, like video games. I was pricing them, right?
Yeah.
And I saw a video game there called 50 Cents.
Yes.
And it was based on some guy that calls himself 50 Cents.
50 Cent, yeah.
Why?
Yeah. He's a rapper.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy is. I saw him. I'm like, why would you call yourself 50 cents? At least call yourself $5.
Yeah, $5. Yeah, 50 Cent. I don't know where that came from. He's a famous rapper. There's quite a few like that. This has been going on for a while. I think, rap really started taking off, I think. And it actually originated in the 70s, but it was probably the late 80s with Tone Loc and, Two Live.
Tone Loc. Okay.
Tone Loc,
if I listen to rap, I listen to DOC. I listen to what's his name? That political giant. Oh God, I forgot his name. Oh, the guy. That's the sound of the police. Woo, woo. That's this. Oh God. KRS-One. I listen to KRS-One.
Okay.
KRS-One obviously mysteriously died because he was going after the New World Order, talking about. He did a really good piece on the inflation of money and stuff. He was on this thing, and this guy's KRS-One's brilliant. He comes on and he's talking about every time he goes on those shows, like Jay Leno or wherever he goes on, he always talks politically. And he came on and he said one time, he said, if I have a problem with my burger when I'm at Burger King, I go to the cashier and I tell her what the problem is. Then the cashier needs to go to a higher level, which is the manager, to get approval on something, right?
Yeah.
And he's breaking this down as a Burger King infrastructure and breaking down how the chain of government works, right? Via how a Burger King functions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just phenomenal. Like KRS-One, and let me put a picture up here of our KRS-One. Here he is, one KRS-One rapper. He died at 54 years old, and I'm telling you, this guy really, really knew his stuff. This guy he was really political right off the get-go. I think he was inspired by Bob Marley, because Bob Marley was very political, right?
Yeah, he was, yeah. Yeah, he had a lot to say.
Wait, someone's saying KRS-One is still alive. I know he died a long time ago. Let me see. Maybe I'm living in a different...
It's gotten some of that original rap, like Death Row Records and Suge Knight, and who was, I think he produced Tupac Shakur, right, and Notorious B.I.G. I think they both died in the mid '90s, right? Like they were the real thing. I mean, they packed guns around. They were gangster all the way. A lot of them now, I think, are just posers. They're cranking them out on the assembly line. It's like country. It's like pop and dance and stuff like that. Like they're just an assembly line of these things coming out. It's just the market is just saturated. I'd really like to see Johnny Cash make a comeback again, to be honest with you.
Well, he's still alive. I'm sorry, guys. I thought he passed away. I thought he passed away years ago. I guess I was wrong. I'm not up with my rap, guys. Sorry, but I listened to KRS-One. He's got songs like he's very metaphoric with his music. He talks about he died on a cross for us. Doesn't mention Jesus, but he talks about things like that in his music. He talks about the corruption and how, things like that. And I just think if people have time to listen to his early 80s stuff, you would be very impressed of his knowledge of the markets, his knowledge of even gold and silver in some of his music, his knowledge of the crime wave, and he even made a song that goes against the drug war back in the Reagan administration time, how it was a front to prop government agencies, you know?
Yeah, prop government agencies and attack the African American community. They've been the laboratory, they've been the litmus test and the guinea pigs for all kinds of things. I feel sorry for them. I do. I mean, it's spilled out into white and Latino communities too, right? So like we're all in it together. But yeah, the degeneracy and the godlessness and the smut and all of it is, we need a reaction to it. And if we don't get a moral reaction to it, we're going to have either a political or probably an economic reaction to it, because it just simply isn't sustainable. Like we're dying as a society, and people are complaining about we're dying as a society. Well, it gets to a point where you just have to decide individually, I'm not living like that anymore.
Yeah. That's
simple as that.
What you just said is Out for Fame by KRS-One. That's exactly what you just said, is that one.
Yeah.
And then Know Thyself is another song that he made. That's he was out during the hip hop golden age, basically. And he's got some really good stuff out there, guys. If you have some time to listen to some of his early 80s rap, you'll listen to exactly what's happening in our time today. Like, it's almost like he predicted in a way where he kind of wanted to get his message out without getting himself basically hung.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's like heavy metal. Heavy metal lyrics. I mean, you can't understand what they're saying half the time, but if you actually, right? Because you know what I mean? Yeah. But death metal and speed metal and all this stuff. But the thing is a lot of things they had to say were very politically incorrect. Right, but it was the only way that they could express themselves. Well, rap's the same way. Rap and hip hop is exactly the same thing. They call it like they see it. It's just that most people, they're dancing and twerking and doing whatever the hell they're doing to it, and it's like, yeah, everything's falling apart, woo, kind of a thing. And they're not actually taking it to heart. Like, these guys are like, okay, they're making a living, a handsome living, or they're making the producers a handsome living, going out and peddling this stuff. But they're trying to warn you.
Okay, guys, I got here Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One. The song is called My Philosophy. If you actually listen to My Philosophy, it actually make you start kind of thinking more like, wow, what was this guy thinking? Now, here is KRS-One talking about Obama and the government structure, aka Burger King. I'm going to put it on right now for you guys to hear. I just want to lower this so he could get to... Okay, here he is talking. Hold on.
Go for it, you bet.
It's like this. When your fries are cold, if your burger is not done right, you go back to Burger King, America, or your government, and you say, my burger's cold. I want new fries. First, you go to the cashier. That's the courts.
The courts.
You argue to the courts. The courts, if you can't get no justice with the cashier, you say, let me see the manager.
Right.
I want to go to the Supreme Court. I want to see the president. The manager comes out. Hi, what can I do for you? Now, the manager can override the decisions of the cashier, but you never get to see the franchise owner of Burger King. If you really have a problem with your burger, you need to go see the franchise owner. We need to go to the top or to the bottom. We need to go to where the real architecture of government is. And it's not in a president. It's in a global scheme. This is the...
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear any of it.
Okay, he's talking about the global scheme and the architecture. So if you're in a Burger King, you have to go to the franchise owner if you want to get to the bottom of why you have this... if you want your problem to be solved. And he says it's like the grand scale of the government. You don't go to Obama, you go above Obama because there's a grand scheme going on.
Yeah, I think so.
So this guy is really, he tries to, I don't know, hide in his music a bit,
Yeah, there's a lot of that. These guys try to get their message across, and you got to kind of look like a clown or a bit of a degenerate to get your point across, right? But it's the safest way to do it. And a lot of these guys, the reason they talk about it is because they're traumatized by it, because a lot of them had to sell their souls and sell their bodies just to break into it. There's a whole humiliation system that you got to go through to be like, there's millions of talented people in the world, good God, but the ones who actually get to the top, they get put there.
Because
right?
I remember this. KRS-One was offered this in a room. In a hotel. They showed him they could have all this, or you could just continue on the way you're going, or you could have all this if you basically do what we ask. And he refused.
Yeah.
And that's why somebody in the comments say he got shut down.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah. There's people in Hollywood who are, they're Christians, or they're observant Jews, or they're moral people. They're really talented and they'll get some work. But no, you gotta sell something of yourself to these people to really get in there.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, they're not good people. Just about any celebrity or any award ceremony or anything you see, that's the people that they sold their soul. They sold a piece of it. I mean, if you don't believe in souls or whatever, well, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is, to these people, that's exactly what they did. They traded something of their personal essence, their innocence, their integrity, you could call it all kinds of things, in order to get that contract and get that money and get that fame. And it's an incredible drug. I mean, look at the amount of time that people are spending on their phones now. Right. And sending selfies everywhere and getting that dopamine hit. It's little tastes of fame, in a way, and if they're not getting the attention, well, they have the same symptoms as withdrawal. They get, I mean, can you imagine if the grid went down for a week, and 50 million teenage girls couldn't be on their phone for a week?
Oh my God. The internet
chaos.
I think it was YouTube. Facebook went down for 45 minutes. It was the end of the planet.
Yeah. There's probably people that had to go to the emergency room. They, oh my God, I got no Facebook. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, it was like the end of it was an apocalypse. Everybody was preparing for an apocalypse. Christ.
Yeah.
I remember what was it that went down to? I can't remember what it was. It was another one that I think it was YouTube was down for like an hour and a half a few years back. Man, that was oh my God.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, then thank God they got Instagram. They got their emergency backup dopamine fix, right?
Guys, I'm leaving my link in here if you want to follow me on Instagram, guys. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I'm back on my Instagram. I haven't been on in a long time, and then I got a lot of messages on there, so I'm going to be checking my messages on Instagram if you want to message me there, people. Also, guys, don't forget to hit me up on Patreon if you want to pledge $1 a month to this transmission, and there's the channel right there. Anyway, Supreme, I'm going to let you go because I'm starting to fall asleep here at the mic. Okay, man. Yeah, well, it's good talking to you and good talking to everybody. Yeah, we'll have you on soon. We're going to start creating a panel, a live panel during the election. So great. Yeah, well, that'd be a good time, yeah, especially election night. It's going to be busy. It'll be a lot of there'll be a lot of people sitting on their edge of the seat this time around, I think. Yeah, everybody make sure and vote. Maybe we'll go live. Maybe we'll just go live and stream live this while the election's on at the same time and kind of see what happens when they count the ballots here in the West, because we're on the Western time, right? Yeah, absolutely. So, all the major networks will have live feeds going all night long. So yeah, we'll pick up the tail end of the count, right? So we'll be okay, I think, to go live. Yeah. So yeah, I like it. I like it. It sounds good. Okay. Well, God bless, buddy. Yeah, we'll talk soon. God bless you. And you. Thanks. Good night, everybody. And that is Supreme Cannon, our main man with the plan. So what are they spinning on us? That's why today is Rumpelstiltskin. What are they spinning? What lies are they spinning? What is spinning? Well, guys, I feel a lot better now. I just was feeling so down. But you know what? I feel better now that I spoke to you guys. Yeah, I'm going to vote for Pedro. I want to vote for Pedro. Zombie Apocalypse, Gary, come on. Get on Skype. It's free. Just message me. I need you on the show. Zombie Apocalypse, Gary. You bring a lot to the table. So does Sidge Brad. Add me on Skype. Low Roller Scratcher still needs to call into the store. He promised to the store. To the show. He promised he was going to call in. He's like, his English is not that good. I don't believe. because I see his videos and I watch Low Roller Scratcher videos and his English is fine. He's got a lot of good input on what's happening. I want Low Roller Scratcher on the show too, on Mike in the Night. And, yeah. Like Supreme Cannon saying, we're all in this together, guys. Keep up the chatter. We'll get through it all. Eventually, yeah. Sige Brad saying, I will add you to Skype. So send me a one-liner saying who you are on YouTube so I know. And Lord Humungus saying, good call as always, Supreme. Yeah, man. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel at the most basic level, go in here and just share something, please. Go in here and share a video. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Follow me on Instagram if you want to message me. Follow me on Patreon. I get like a page. When you message me on Patreon, I receive a page, like a pager. Like it's like really one-on-one with that. It's really weird, but it's interesting. And here's Instagram. I'll leave a link again in the comments for Instagram if you guys want to follow me on that. All right, everyone. Have a good night. God bless. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll make a video tomorrow for you guys. Have a good one.